When a case is marked resolved, it usually means answers were found. But in this case, resolution came without explanation. No arrests, no public report, no official outcome, just a stamp. And everything that followed suggests the story didn't end, it was silenced. Former investigators agree on one thing: the word resolved doesn't always mean understood. In internal systems, it can also mean no further inquiry authorized. Resources withdrawn, discussion prohibited. In other words, the investigation ends, not because the truth was found, but because continuing became unacceptable. And that distinction matters, because from the moment this file was closed, unusual things began to happen. There were no supplementary reports, no environmental assessments, no medical reviews, no psychological evaluations of witnesses. This is highly irregular for any incident involving mass behavior changes. Infrastructure failure, civilian displacement, yet nothing followed. No second phase, no after-action summary. The silence wasn't accidental, it was enforced. Years later, the same clerk attempted to locate a digital reference to the incident. What they found was disturbing. The case number didn't return a deleted result. It returned no result at all, as if the number had never existed in the system. Even deleted files usually leave a trace. This one didn't. That means the record wasn't erased. It was overwritten. Researchers later noticed something else. A rural area referenced indirectly in the file began disappearing from secondary data sources. First, it vanished from updated regional maps, then from infrastructure planning documents, then from historical population comparisons. Older records still existed, but newer ones skipped over the area entirely, as if the place had become irrelevant or inconvenient. Hospital administrators from nearby regions later confirmed something off the record. In the days following the incident, several patients were admitted under non-standard procedures. They arrived without identification, without family contacts, accompanied by officials, not paramedics. Symptoms were listed vaguely: disorientation, acute compliance, emotional flatness. Within days, all were transferred. No destination recorded, no discharge summaries filed. Their records simply ended. Audio specialists who reviewed a copy of the tape noticed something new. The background noise didn't match a residential environment. It sounded open, exposed, almost elevated, and the tone of the voices mattered. There was no panic, no surprise, just acknowledgement, greater than, they're still standing there. Then we're too late, not reacting, confirming, as if the outcome was already expected. One question continues to haunt this case. Why didn't anyone come forward? With an event involving so many people, silence of this scale is rare. Unless information was compartmentalized, witnesses were isolated, and consequences were clearly communicated. This wasn't damage control, it was prevention. When analysts widened their search, similarities appeared. Different years, different regions, same administrative language, cases marked resolved without conclusions, population irregularities without explanation, infrastructure events with no official cause. Each one sealed, each one quiet, suggesting this wasn't an anomaly. It was a method. If this incident happened once, it would be disturbing. If it happened repeatedly, then the real danger isn't what occurred. It's how easily it was erased. Some stories are forgotten by time, others are buried by design, and this one was never meant to be known. What makes this case different isn't just what's missing, it's who decided it was missing. Someone reviewed the evidence, someone read the reports, someone listened to that tape, and instead of asking more questions, they closed the file. No explanation was offered, no public statement was released, no record of responsibility exists. Just one word: resolved. In true crime, that word usually means justice. Here, it meant silence. Silence for the witnesses, silence for the missing names, silence for the place that no longer appears on any map. And if this case could be erased so completely, then it raises a disturbing question. How many others were erased the same way? In Part 3, we examine patterns, cases with the same language, the same sudden closures, and the same disappearance of records, because this story didn't end when the file was closed. That's when it truly began. This was Part 2. The silence is intentional.